What's up everybody? How you guys doing today? Y'all miss me? Y'all miss this Vixia quality right here? It's been a long time, man. But we're gonna start this video off a little bit differently, and I'm gonna explain what's going on later on besides the title that you guys are seeing right now. So today we're doing another camera comparison, this time between the camera I formerly used, which was a Canon Vixia, and the Panasonic HC-V180K. Now you're probably wondering, why am I starting this video on the Vixia? Well, I'm gonna show you guys right now. So a couple of things to notice here. This is actually a Canon Vixia HF R400, not an 800. I actually traded the 800 in for this guy, made a few dollars back too. This one is kind of the one I originally had in mind, and I bought this off of eBay for $100, and it's pretty beat up here as you can see, but in other areas it's in pretty good shape. Color looks pretty dope. And I guess a bit of a different interface too. And you're probably noticing I'm not on my Manfrotto tripod this time. I am on, oh my goodness, I'm about to drop this thing. I need to watch where I'm going. So this tripod right here is actually a Kmart focal tripod from Japan, as you can see right there. I think that's the model number. And this is a pretty nice looking tripod. Apparently it's from the 80s. But you know, it's really good quality. But one of the legs here is loose. I bought this tripod off of eBay for $45. Reminds me a lot of my Target's tripod, and it looks pretty cool all around. I really like it. And yeah, I think it's this leg right here. It's a little loose right there. But I bought this tripod not to replace my Manfrotto, but to replace my old black tripod that I had for years. And once I got the Manfrotto tripod, I said I'd use that one as a backup. But I like this design better, so this is going to be my backup tripod, and I'm going to sell the other one on my eBay page pretty soon. Probably by the time this video up, the eBay page listing will be up, so you guys can see it if y'all interested. So you guys are probably wondering, why am I starting off this video on the Vixia on the tripod, and I don't have the Panasonic? Good question, and I'm going to explain it right now. So you guys remember, I think it was last week, I posted a video where I ended up selling my Canon vlogging camera and decided to keep my Sony after all. After I spent a lot of money on it, and the fact that I didn't use it that much and it wasn't fully the upgrade I wanted, at least compared to the Sony, and it had some minor flaws. Well, I'm kind of starting to feel the same way about this guy right here. I mean, I didn't pay much for it, and it's a good camera. But then once I kind of start to look more footage of it, I was messing around with it in low light shots, outdoor shots, and I kind of started to realize that this thing isn't fully as different as the Vixia as I kind of thought. Like, at first maybe it did kind of seem like a nice upgrade, but after a while, again, I guess maybe because it feels a little off too. I mean, I did film some cool videos with this thing, but after a while I kind of realized again, it's like the quality actually is not too different. And on top of that, I also mixed the Vixia as well, and I was like, you know what? Let's trade in my 800 for a 400 because I like the design better, and it's a lot cheaper too, so I can make some money back off of it. And then in my mind I was like, kind of keep on going with the Vixia as well, because I kind of miss it, and I know some of you guys probably miss it too. And I was thinking of just selling this thing on eBay again as well. I know I'm selling things, I'm buying things and I'm selling them. I don't know, I guess you could say I just can't make up my mind. But before I decide to sell this, I wanted to do a camera comparison to truly see the difference between these two cameras. And don't worry, by the way, this thing and the R800 share the exact same qualities as well. I guess the model's older. It has slightly less zoom than 800, which is not even that bad to me. The course design is different, but quality is there. It's the same. Still shoots 1080p, 60 FPS. I think the microphone's a little different. Slightly, I think, when exposed to louder noises. I'll figure that out later on. But yeah, so let's go ahead, and without beating around the bush anymore, let's go ahead and get this video started. So let's start off with the first camera here, the Canon Vixia HF R400. My very first one was an R700, then I broke it, then I got an R800 from a friend, and I traded that one in for this guy, and this is the one I'm going to be using now. And as you can, this thing came out in 2013, but again, it's no different than the R800. The design of this one, I think, out of all of them, definitely looks really cool. This little gray thing on top, the little gray lens and all that. Again, it's super beat up here. Probably, I'm guessing it's from a heavy drop. But yeah, this camera came out in 2013, and the last Vixia of the HF models came out in 2017, but they all have the exact same quality. Starting with the R600, they made a slightly new design change, and then with the R700, I guess they just changed the interface. And there are some other models of this guy that have built-in memory and I think Wi-Fi as well, so you can transfer your videos quickly to your phone. And let's turn it on, and it feels pretty nice turning it on. So this is kind of the older interface, August 1st, Lens cover all still works the same, but the interface is slightly different than what I had before. But honestly, I think I like this one kind of better. But I used the Vixia from November 2018 up to this February when I got this guy, but it's gonna be now that I'm gonna go back to using this thing. And overall, I like this camera. I filmed so many videos with this thing. It's been incredible, man, and I absolutely loved every minute of it. Then we have this guy, which this right here is the Panasonic HC-V180K. I found out about this guy when I saw it at Target one time in 2018, and I was debating, oh shoot, that's a nice camera actually. I kind of want it. And then, you know, after a while I was like debating. I made some videos back then also debating which one I wanted between the two. I ended up going with the Vixia, and after a few years I was like, time to upgrade. But then I see the true extent to this guy, and not to say it's a bad camera, but again, I don't think they're that different from the Vixia, and I also kind of miss it. But overall, this thing's a pretty good camera too. I like the design of it. It's pretty sturdy actually. Almost shares a little bit of the same design. Pretty nice design all around. You know, the batteries are a little smaller than the Vixia. Also uses a regular charging port you can plug into the wall. It's not like a battery charger with some certain vlogging cameras. All this stuff right here. Memory card's down here in the bottom too. And this thing also too, when you open it, the camera will turn on, and listen to the startup sound. Panasonic definitely has one of the calmest startup sounds ever when it comes to their cameras for sure. And we look at it around here. Oh, look at the camera war. But the interface disappears with the Panasonic when you turn it around. But this thing also, I think this thing came out in 2016, and also shoots pretty decent quality as well, 1080p 60 FPS. Honestly, I kind of struggled to find the settings to change the quality, but by default it's already at 1080p 60 FPS. So that's a nice thing I like about this thing. And yeah, so again, this thing came out in 2016. You can find these. I think Target still sells these for the same price of $200, and anywhere on eBay you can find them as low as $150. This thing, the Vixia, the R400 specifically, you can find it for well, I bought this one for $90. Some listing, this is the only cheap listing out there. All the ones are like $150, because again, they're almost too similar to the R800, but the R800 goes for like $250, so it's like you're kind of better off getting this thing. Then the models before the 400, those don't shoot 60 FPS, so that's a huge no for me right there. But alright, let's get started with the comparison. So we're gonna do the same old things that we always do for the comparison. You know, moving around here, going outdoors, low light tests, all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, now we are starting the comparison. This is gonna be super annoying because I have both of these cameras on a selfie stick. I might move these a little more down here. So let's see the movements around. I'm just doing some slight movements here. Okay, so colors are different, although I wouldn't say they're still as great. Let's see if we go over here to a little bit here. Canon does a slightly better job because there's a bit of shadow on my face, and the Canon doesn't pick it up, but the Panasonic does. It's also inverted. The screen's inverted here as well, so it's weird to see. But let's move more around over here once we go closer to the window, which picks up my face better. Canon slightly. Panasonic, I see a little bit of darker colors around my face, but I think it's not a massive difference compared to from the Sony to the other Canon vlogging camera for sure. But definitely not as huge difference you could see there. If we move over here, here's where I think Panasonic wins. I'm picking up my face better slightly, but I think the colors of the light not matching it very accurately to real life. My arms are hurting, bro, especially with the Vixia holding it, because I have like the larger selfie stick, and so I'll have my arm more up. But goddamn, all right, so let's move over here. You can see it's not bad on both of them. They're both good. Oh, you could see. Watch when there's, yeah, you guys saw that on the Panasonic. Whenever you move from a bright scenario to a darker scenario, you see the color shift takes a really long time. So I'm gonna go back. I don't like holding these for so long, but if we go back over here, now we move on the Canon, it focuses it right away, and I think on the Panasonic, see, it's kind of, yeah, that's just struggling a bit right there, but it's gonna get it eventually. Just give it a couple seconds and it's not doing it, or maybe this is how it already was, I'm not entirely sure. And this is how both cameras look. So here's the R400, here's the Panasonic. Okay, I think in this case, when there's more light like this, the Panasonic does better. But the Canon still does a pretty nice job all around. I think it picks up a little more light on my skin, if you guys kind of see that. But again, it's not bad at all. It still does a pretty good job at it. But I think overall the Panasonic, I think in this case, one here and here in the mirror, it definitely does a little bit better. Oh, hello, Molly. How you doing, dog? So, we're outside now, and first thing you guys saw was my dog. And last time you guys saw her, she was actually a little sick, but that was back in February. Look at her, she's so playful, full of energy now. And it's super hot, even though it's only 9 in the morning, but let's do this quickly. I don't want to be out here for too long. But, okay, so right off the bat, I have them both on the default settings for the screen brightness. I see that the Panasonic screen is actually brighter. But if we go over here, this is where you start to see similarities. A lot of similarities between the two. It is worth mentioning that both cameras also have optical image stabilization, which is pretty nice actually. I like that about these two cameras. So moving around here, we're getting the color. This is truly a good environment to be in to test cameras around plants and stuff like that. You know, my dad's a gardener, and it's good because it gives you an aspect of how, you know, cameras can compare to each other. My dog is in the storage room. What the hell is she doing messing with her squeaky toy? Alright, let's walk around. But again, like I'm saying, I'm noticing that the screen, the LCD on the Panasonic is way brighter. Well, now that I think about it, I don't know which one could be more fragile. Alright, and if we're moving over here, both do a pretty nice job. I might be seeing a slight yellow tint on the Canon, or maybe that's the screen. Maybe if I review the footage later on, it'll probably be better. But let's go to here to the plants. Not bad. Over here, not bad all around. I think maybe that's one difference between the other Vixias. It's probably this little yellowish tint. I think it might just be the screen. I don't know. I'll have to review the footage later. But they both look pretty good. They pick up the colors pretty good. And oh, hello, Molly. Yeah, again, they both pick up every color pretty good. When you shift over to down here and you go up to the sky, they both do a good job at picking up the colors. Pretty good. So again, this is where in the outdoors is where you start to see a lot of similarities. Although again, maybe actually let's see the depth of field here. I think Canon has it slightly wider a bit. I don't know about how much though. Maybe it's the angles I'm looking at. And if we look at my face out here, I'm gonna move around slightly. I think Panasonic gets the cut. Actually, I don't even know. For some reason, my face looks super burnt on the Panasonic. If this is close to real life, I hope my face isn't as burnt as it is. Then in the Canon, you get it. Well, you guys have seen my face so much on the Canon already from all my past videos. But they both do, again, a good job. I think Canon, actually, if I move up here, actually, they both don't really get the sky all too good. There's kind of like a wider shade. But I think Canon picks it up a little bit better. Yeah, see, my face is kind of dark there on Panasonic, but on the Canon, you can actually see it. So I'm gonna do some other movements like that. See the sun shining on my face. It's good I'm doing this now in the morning instead of the afternoon, like with the Panasonic, with the vlogging cameras, because I think the sky looks better in the morning, and it's also not as hot out here, so it's better for me. What is this dog doing? What's the dog doing?
What the dog doing?
I'm gonna play that sound effect right there. Okay, so we're gonna do the running test again. This is where we're gonna pick up stabilization and you know, wind movements, how they can both handle it. So here we go. Molly, get out of the way. And the dog's running too. Molly, get out of the way. And the dog's running too. Molly, get out of the way. And the dog's running too. She thinks I'm chasing her. She thinks, oh gosh, I shouldn't have done that, because now she's gonna run around the patio like crazy. Okay, now the zoom test. This dog is going insane. Okay, let's do the zoom test now. So they both have pretty far zoom. So pretty clear once you see the lens. You can feel the lens moving around, and I think it makes a noise too. But if we move over here to the leaves, it picks it up pretty clear. So that voice crack picks everything up pretty clear. Not bad all around. So it's cool. I like it. We'll zoom into the plants too. and try and, oh, almost tripped on that carpet. And zoom in on the dog. What the dog doing?
What the dog doing?
So, zoom's pretty good on this thing. It's pretty stabilized, even when you zoom in, which is one thing I really like about these. Oh, damn, she goes again, dog. Let's see. Here's another zoom test we could try right here. There she is. There she is. She's coming back. She's coming back. She's coming back. She's gonna run past me. Oh, damn! She's about to bump into me, dog. But yeah, as I was saying, one thing I really like about these Canon Vixias is they're all optically stabilized when you zoom in, which is absolutely cool. It takes a bit while to focus, but once it does, it gets it pretty quickly, so I like that about this thing. Now let's try Panasonic zoom, and I see the sun rays are right reflecting into the camera, which that's not good. So this thing is pretty stabilized too when you zoom it in. And let's go more over here. I think slightly the colors look a bit more realistic on the Panasonic, but by how much though? I'll see later on what the difference is. So not bad all around. I think where I don't notice a massive difference between these two cameras is in low light. I'm gonna move around here with the colors. Not bad all around. And we'll go back up there to the little things right there. So it focuses pretty good on this thing too, and it's stabilized. So not bad. And now all of a sudden she stops acting crazy whenever I'm filming with the second camera. Oh, she probably just had a drink or something. But zoom overall is pretty good on both cameras, and even on this guy too. Oh, now she's gonna run. Now she's gonna run. I could test this on her. No? You're not gonna run anymore, Molly? I'd have to build up her energy in order for her to start running. Okay, so we're now doing the low light test. I see the Panasonic is kind of picking up the colors of the curtain, and both cameras drop frames in dark scenarios, which is fine. Okay, maybe a bit here in low light, but I'm almost never doing this test. But I guess for any people who are ever filming out in low light, Panasonic does pick it up actually by a decent amount actually, but it's also nothing too significant. When we go in here, well, here it's not too dark, so both of them get them okay. So we're moving up my face here, and when we go to the darker stuff, what picks it up better? Definitely Panasonic. So in the super darker situations, Panasonic definitely wins for sure, because you can't see me. You can kind of see me on the let's move over here so you guys can actually see me. But on the Panasonic, you can probably see me better in those kind of super low light situations. But I mean, like, kind of like, okay, now if we look here, I think Panasonic is probably winning. So in most cases for the comparisons, it's either one does slightly better over the other. Panasonic in some other minor aspects did better, but for the most part in brighter situations, they almost were exactly the same. So overall, I guess maybe not a huge upgrade that I thought I'd be going into. That's why I'm considering selling the Panasonic. But if you're interested in picking up either one of these cameras, they're both pretty good for you. Alright, let's go into the video now. Back to my tripod.
So I'm watching that little clip again, and I think that test was pretty inaccurate because I thought the low light was better. The low light was better on this guy because it showed on the screen, but I think that was just the screen. The actual lens probably didn't pick up the low light. So in terms of that little thing, you guys are probably wondering why did I say it's better on this guy if you guys are seeing it through the screen. That's what I saw through this screen. After reviewing it, yeah, they're both almost the same in low light.
Alright, well, that's going to be it for this video. So all around, again, both similar in most situations in the outdoors. I think they both do almost exactly the same. I think once you get to super low light, I think this thing starts to shine more. But me personally, I don't care much about that because I almost never shoot out and it's super dark. And in rare cases I do, I think this camera does fine. And I mean, I have my phone with me, so I could use that as a flashlight. Maybe in case I'd have to hold the same thing. But if we're thinking, if any of you guys were debating between either of these two cameras, or even anything like the R500, 600, R700, or the 800, again, they all share the exact same quality, 1080p, 60 FPS, they look the same, they sound the same, they're pretty much the same thing. If you're debating between either one of these, or between this guy, if you're really into, I don't know, like someone who wants to shoot more darker stuff, like outside in the dark, or anything lower light, primarily like me, I guess, because I kind of film all my videos in here, but then I have a decent amount of light, but sometimes not enough for the camera. But I have this thing right here. So I say, if you're one person who films, let's say outdoor environments or somewhere in really dark environments, this is probably your best bet, honestly. It does a good job as it is, you know, it takes good video, 60 FPS. They both do good at shooting video in 1080p 60 FPS. If you're someone who shoots outside in natural environments like that, they'll both do you good, honestly. I guess maybe after a while, I'm like kind of more of a Vixia person. You know, I've had it for years. It's stuck to my heart, so it has a special place. Doesn't truly hold the same feeling. But this thing is a pretty nice camera all around too. I think for the time I did use it, it definitely did serve me good. I guess I'm selling it just to make a bit of money back, I guess maybe. But I'm kind of gonna miss it. Maybe a little more than the Canon. But I could always go to Target, see these in stock, and just kind of mess around with it. That's probably what I could really do, because Target still sells these. Even after 5 years, man, or 7 years, because this thing's been out for 7 years. But I found it at Target about 5 years ago, but they still have it, man. I'm actually surprised that they still have it. So again, all in all, both cameras do a good job. They both will range. This thing, the R400 and this guy, you'll find them around the same price range. So in terms of that, it's not going to be much of an issue. It's just, I think this one will really come up to your personal preferences. Which in brighter scenarios, again, not a huge difference. In darker situations, this thing shines a decent amount better, but isn't anything too significant enough. But I mean, again, personal preferences, that's up on you guys. And yeah, if any of you guys are interested in buying this thing, I might get started this video editing quickly, have it up this afternoon, if not this morning, or the next morning as of recording this. But I'll see what I can do, because I don't have work today, which is nice. I get a day off. So yeah, videos will start being Vixia quality again. Oh, I kind of miss this thing, and I'm sure a few of you guys probably miss it. So we're back, man. We're back on the Vixia. So that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Actually, now that I'm disassembling the tripod, I'm about to put it back in my closet. Something I realized I forgot to show you guys. So this thing, again, plain rock used to use it a lot back in the day. I really like the design. It reminds me of my Target's tripod. This is from Japan. It's from the 80s, I think. But down here, the little leg down here, if you twist it, this thing has spikes. You could kill someone with this thing. I mean, not that I would recommend doing that, but in rare case you absolutely have to. And I mean, I think these are mostly served for if you're out in the grass or something, so it could like stick in the dirt, and that way you don't have to worry about making it fall. I guess, I don't know, but alright, that's the end of this video, guys. So thank you guys for watching.